Don't trip, you know? I know things is hard right now. You looking for a job, you out there hustling. Money gon' come your way, just don't trip. You gotta keep your shoes tight.
There's an awful lot of construction going on here right now, and so you can probably hear that in the background. And I thought that was kind of fitting because, you know, everything is under construction at all times, including what we've been working on this case. And I just want to point out to you that Russell Poole worked on this case, and every time it kept leading back to corrupt cops, he was told to stand down, and he was finally pushed out of the Los Angeles Police Department. I also want to let everybody know that in both of these murders, in the Tupac murder, that was on a busy Las Vegas street, and there were literally hundreds and hundreds of eyewitnesses that saw the shooting. And what happened? They were never able to solve the case. And then you have the Biggie murder. And in the Biggie murder, the party was being let out. They were being pushed out by the fire department. A shooter rolls up and drops his gun on the street, gets out, fires a couple of rounds up into the air in front of fire trucks, and then drives off. The fire people call it in. All of the good cops are the ones that followed that guy and eventually apprehended him, and they say it had absolutely nothing to do with Biggie's murder. Well, how is that even possible? He pulled all the good cops away so that the Biggie murder could happen. And so in both the Tupac and Biggie murders, you can see that if they had arrested somebody in either one of these murders, they had charged them and they had gotten a conviction, we would feel like the right thing had been done. Otherwise, we feel like corrupt cops have been involved, and the fact of the matter is that neither one of these cases really got the justice that they deserved, with literally hundreds and hundreds of eyewitnesses. And that rolls okay back in the 80s and even the 90s. But in today's world, where everybody's armed with a cell phone, we know better. We're smarter than that. And we look at the 3 cover-ups in this case, and 4 if you include Biggie. Biggie was what galvanized the East Coast and the West Coast feud. The next cover-up is the documents that were pigeonholed in Detective Stephen Katz's desk drawer that led to the mistrial in the first Wallace civil trial. The second one was stringing together Wayman Anderson's testimony, and that was the second Wallace civil trial, and that resulted in a dismissal with a promise that they were going to find the killers, and then 30 days later they had lied to Valletta Wallace. They dismissed the case, and then 30 days later they shut down the investigation. And the fourth, if you include the Christopher Wallace murder as one of the cover-ups, the fourth cover-up comes in the form of giving a corrupt cop who should have been fired and should have been stripped of his pension a book deal and a movie deal to have the narrative that no cops were involved in either one of these murders, and it had absolutely nothing to do with the city of Los Angeles or LAPD. And we know LAPD was in Las Vegas, 3 of them, from internal affairs, from 2 days before Tupac and Suge were shot until 2 days after Tupac dies, on special assignment for LAPD. And we know with the Christopher Wallace murder that there were lots of cops that were there, and Reggie Wright Jr. was also there at the Peterson Museum. Lots of eyewitnesses saw them, and so this had everything to do with cops, and the cover-ups, nobody's buying it anymore. More later.
I got a baby girl in this world, so I ain't got no choice. Y'all either gonna take me out or ride with me, and I put that on everything.
Hard times and haters, yeah, but that's okay. I'm a hustler, and feeling.
Don't trip, you know? I know things is hard right now.